Following breaking news tonight at 5 o'clock. Just less than an hour ago, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, he sharply criticized the 20 impeachment articles recommended against him by a Texas House committee.
Yeah, you saw it right here on CBS News Texas Live as it was happening. Lawmakers are considering impeaching him tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Political reporter Jack Fink live for us right now in Austin. Jack, can you break down what Ken Paxton said in that press conference that we had earlier?
Well, Nicole and Jason, this was actually a very rare moment when Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton went before Texas reporters, but he did not stick around and answer any questions at all. A lot of reporters have been trying to ask him questions for years about all of these allegations. And so he called the state representatives who support this impeachment process against him as, quote, corrupt politicians who have blind loyalty to House Speaker Dade Phelan. Paxton called the 20 articles of impeachment, quote, an illegal impeachment scheme. Now, among the articles of impeachment, abuse of public trust, unfit for office, dereliction of duty, and constitutional bribery, which are related to his alleged actions with an Austin businessman. When the House of Representatives considers these articles of impeachment at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, they will need a simple majority to impeach him, which is 75 votes. If all 64 Democrats go along with him on impeachment, they will need 11 Republicans to join them. Paxton said today he was very grateful for all the support that he has received, and he asked for their help tomorrow, too.
And I want to invite my fellow citizens and friends to peacefully come let their voices be heard at the Capitol tomorrow. Exercise your right to petition your government. Let's restore the power of this great state to the people instead of to the politicians.
Now, if the House does vote to impeach Paxton tomorrow, he will be suspended immediately from his job as Attorney General. He said that will hurt his efforts to challenge the Biden administration's what he called unlawful policies which hurt Texas. Now, one thing that would happen from there, if the House were to impeach him, the Texas Senate then would hold a trial. He said he's more trustful of that process. 2/3 of the senators would have to decide to remove him from office. His wife, Senator Angela Paxton, is in that chamber. But because the Texas Constitution says that senators have to be impartial, one legal expert told me it's very unlikely that she will be put in that situation. Nicole?
And Jack, you mentioned earlier at 4 o'clock when we talked about this that the Attorney General didn't really have a press conference here. He kind of laid out his case, spoke about some other things, but we didn't really get much else. You had questions ready to go, as did all the other reporters in that room. What were you going to ask him had he taken questions?
Well, of course, the first thing I want to know is why didn't you take questions, if I could ask him that now? Why not take questions if you didn't do anything wrong? He has denied any wrongdoing, but one thing I'd like to ask is, do you categorically deny each and every one of these allegations inside these 20 articles of impeachment? He criticized this whole process. He called it an illegal scheme, but the Texas Constitution squarely gives lawmakers, the House of Representatives, the authority to conduct an impeachment process. So how does he square that statement? Those are at least some of the questions that I have, Nicole.
That's a very fair observation and accurate observation. Jack Fink, live for us in Austin. Thank you so much, Jack. Right now on our website, the articles of impeachment against the Attorney General, they are up and posted for you. If you want to see more of Jack's interview with the Dallas appellate attorney, who really gives some in-depth insight, all you have to do is use the QR code you see right there on your screen. It'll take you right to our website, cbsnewstexas.com. And remember, we are always streaming for you on CBS Texas, the app, and Pluto TV.